Everybody, welcome back. How was that morning? I learned a lot. Too many pages of notes. Look, I have a short job here. In some ways, it's just managing the transition from lunch. Think of me as like a human version of the Jeopardy music in some ways. So lower the bar right now. But one of the things I'm supposed to do in my brief remarks is to thank some folks. So I'm going to start by thanking the woman who has done the most work to make this happen, Libby Franklin. So Libby, thank you for what you've done. She's refusing to come out. But Libby has worked tirelessly on this effort. You know, a couple of years ago, the policy program directors, and really Walter Isaacson and Elliot Gerson said, the Aspen Institute's going to put a stake in the ground around equity, around opportunity. But Libby's the one who's actually driven the stake into the ground and made this something permanent, and we're really proud of her work. And frankly, we don't thank folks enough at Aspen. There's a ton of great work behind the scenes, and so I'd just like to ask anybody who works at the Aspen Institute, just raise your hand. Just put a hand up there. Sarah, get a hand up there. Yeah. So anyone who's sitting next to somebody who works at the Aspen Institute, ask them what they do. Find out more from them during one of the many, many breaks that we build into our events. All right, I'm already behind, so let me just do one other thank you, and that's really about the folks the organizations whose names are on the board behind me. You know, what I want to say about the sponsorship here is that, you know, you could view it as a one-time deal, but every single one of these sponsors is in deep on equity and opportunity. And all of them are in the work for the long haul. So my program alone, our program alone at the Forum for Community Solutions has multi-year grants to do everything from reconnect young people in Phoenix to career pathways with Walmart, to work with Prudential on how do we connect the boys and men of color in 7 cities to post-secondary opportunities in partnership with Jobs for the Future, to working with Prudential and with Citi to bake into our work. We have these huge networks of youth employment partners and youth development organizations. How do we bake into that work a financial literacy strategy, a wealth building and asset building strategy? To the Ford Foundation, where we have a multi-year investment from them to lift up the voices of the young people whose lives we're trying to influence as leaders now, so that, you know, middle-aged white guys aren't our spokespersons for much longer. So we're doing all of that work with these sponsors, and so what I want to say as I thank them is that I'm not actually just thanking you for sponsoring today now, but for those 4 sponsors and for the Gates Foundation, this is not an ephemeral or episodic thing. This is part of the work that they're in. This is part of creating greater access to opportunity for the long term. So could we thank our sponsors for that deeper commitment? Thank you. All right, lastly, speaking of being in it for the long haul, it's my great privilege to introduce our next speaker, who had a distinguished in it for the long haul career at the Department of Justice, spent many years in a senior leadership role at PepsiCo, and now he's the Senior Vice President for Global Public Policy and Government Affairs at Walmart. Please welcome Dan Bryant. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Stephen. I do want to begin by assuring all of you that I was actually invited to be here today. I didn't intend to go to another meeting and wander into the wrong one. It's great to be with you. I'm here joined by a number of my super colleagues, and it's our privilege to be with you for this day. I did want to thank Maureen Conway and Elliot Gerson and their superb teams for the invitation. The Aspen Institute has become an important partner for Walmart. We are working together to rethink the role retail jobs play in creating pathways for opportunity in America. When I joined Walmart 16 months ago, it was in part because I came to believe that Walmart was serious about changing, primarily changing itself so that ultimately it could play a constructive role in useful, broader change. Inside the company, there is actually a sense of humility and urgency to develop new insights and creativity, new insights, new capability as we become a different kind of company, one that's frankly more innovative and collaborative. In a real sense, my colleagues and I are here today because we have learned an invaluable lesson at Walmart. We do better, indeed we are at our best, when we are learning from our critics and from our competitors. We also learn from our friends, but we are forced to get better because of our critics and our skeptics. We are not here today thinking we will win you over with a few brief comments. Our purpose is to hear from you, to learn from you, and to try to convey that we are serious about working together. We believe that our scale and reach, combined with your insights and guidance, can actually be a meaningful part of the solution. We know we need to keep changing, and we actually are here asking for your help. I have enjoyed listening to all of the sessions this morning. Jonathan and Rachel, Drew and Danielle, Sarah, Jose, Mike, and Tony. Wow, thank you. So at Walmart, we believe that our reach and scale allow us to play an important role in developing and advancing solutions. We do, after all, employ 1.4 million associates in the United States and many more around the world. 140 million Americans shop with us each week in stores and online, and 83% of Americans shopped with us last year. In addition to our own scale, one of the reasons we believe we can actually be part of the solution to the complex issues we're focused on during today's session is because of the size and scale of the retail industry itself. According to some studies, individuals in the generation now entering the United States workforce will have, on average, more than 20 jobs over the course of their careers. These careers will play out in an economy where retail is the largest private employer in the United States. Currently, over 10% of the U.S. workforce is in retail. So retail is big business. On the other hand, over 98% of all retail businesses employ fewer than 50 people. So retail is small business. Today, retail is the place where many people get their first job. It's a place where people are able to earn and learn and begin to lay the foundation for their careers and set the stage for advancement. The experience of Walmart associates bears this out. 75% of Walmart managers began as hourly associates. One of them ended up becoming our CEO. On average, a Walmart store manager makes $170,000 a year, and well, they should. It's a huge, complex job, leading what is often a $100 million annual business and managing upwards of 300 people. So we believe retail has a unique opportunity to help people as they get started in today's fast-paced economy. If that's right, then what role should Walmart play? Well, we've already taken a handful of key actions. 2 years ago, we invested $2.7 billion in our associates. Perhaps more important than the pay increases, we invested significantly in training, and we adjusted our approach to key workforce issues, addressing head-on issues related to the stability and mobility of our associates. Those gathered in this room understand better than anyone the increasingly complex challenges facing today's families. By the way, Jonathan and Rachel and the team behind the U.S. Financial Diaries, you should know, they should know, all of you should know, that those stories and their work have been passed around Walmart. They've been read by our HR leaders, our benefits leaders, our policy leaders alike. They have helped us better understand that one of the most significant contributions we can make at Walmart related to the challenges of opportunity and inequality is to foster increased stability for our associates where their time and finances are concerned. Steady, predictable work schedules are a foundational piece of creating workplace stability. This has been and will remain a challenge for Walmart, but we're working on it. Our associates get their schedules more than 2 weeks in advance. We're now piloting a new scheduling program in stores designed to provide associates with more consistency and transparency related to their schedules. And we're increasing the practice of associates being given fixed schedules, enabling them to work the same hours on the same days for up to 6 months at a time. These are modest steps, perhaps, but meaningful when taken together, and certainly meaningful when taken to scale. Another example of how we're trying to meet associate needs relates to income smoothing. A 2013 study by the Federal Reserve Board, one that many of you are familiar with, pointed out various problems associated with income smoothing experienced by hourly workers throughout the workforce. It's an issue that cuts across demographics and income levels, as Jonathan and Rachel ably noted earlier. To better understand the issue and to begin to help address it, Walmart recently conducted a pilot program in Florida to provide associates more visibility into and consistency in their monthly cash flows. The predictability of a steady cash flow better enables associates to plan for expenses, save money, and budget day to day. Almost 2,000 associates enrolled in the pilot, and the feedback was overwhelmingly positive. Based on the insights that we've gained from this test, we're planning to improve and to extend the pilot to other areas of the country this year. The kind of improved stability created by predictable scheduling and income smoothing is one critical part of the puzzle, but there are others, including pathways and opportunities for advancement. And so, 1 year ago, Walmart started opening training academies on site. This initiative is expected to become the largest ever training effort by a private sector company. Our academies teach advanced retail and leadership skills to assistant managers, department managers, and frontline hourly supervisors. To date, we've opened more than 80 training academies, and by the end of this year, we will graduate more than 225,000 associates. Alongside the academies, we launched our Pathways program, through which we teach the entry-level associates retail fundamentals and the soft skills needed to foster confidence and success in any workplace. Entry-level associates can complete the Pathways program in as little as 90 days. Upon successful completion, associates earn at least $10 an hour. In other words, they learn on the job and their achievements lead to a pay raise. This precedent will echo throughout the retail industry. But here's the key. The program not only leads to higher pay, it opens the door to advancement and opportunity by adding hard and soft skills that are transferable beyond Walmart and beyond retail. We invite you to come and see what's happening in any of our academies and to attend an academy graduation. If you do, you'll have a better sense of the very meaningful role an employer can play as a catalyst for training at scale and actually improving people's lives. We've taken these steps in part because we're spending time with teams like Aspen and a number of you in this room. You're helping us get smarter and better focused. We actually want to continue to develop these new muscles, as it were, which we believe we can do by working with you. If we can develop ways of working together effectively with the array of expertise and savvy represented in this room, we believe we can meaningfully improve the readiness of more people to be successful broadly in the workforce, well beyond Walmart and the retail industry. Any such improved capability to work together will not come a moment too soon. As this group well knows, we have enormous economic, social, and public policy challenges ahead, actually already upon us as our economy begins to experience the automation revolution and the various disruptions that come with it related to the workforce. So our view, our hope, is that together we can build common capacity to solve these workforce issues confronting us today. We would prefer the model of, to quote Jose, doing smart good together wherever it is possible, because the issues really are that big. So again, thank you for the kind invitation to join you today and being willing to get to know us a little bit better. And we do wish you every success. Thanks.